All right, everybody, welcome back. HSC Podcast 161. Big Box Steve on the mic, the Big Smooth, and Fresh Wes. Big night tonight, starting the NFL season here shortly. And so wearing the jerseys. I'm going to wear the Bears jersey until they lose. So maybe week
Do they have
one.
week one?
But hopefully, and see what the audience thinks, how long will my Bears jersey last? Let's hear it in the comments. Can I make it through week one? It's a pretty tough start, I'm not gonna lie. First couple weeks, rough.
Vikings Monday night. See if JJ McCarthy is.
Hey, you know what? I'm just hoping for like 3 or 4
Geez,
games.
yeah. So you start off with Vikings Lions week one
Yeah,
and two. So
yeah, I already know it's gonna be rough. So hope for the best here. Let's go, Bears. Uh, Big Smooth got the Raiders jersey on. I don't know if you want to try wear that till they lose. That might be pretty quick.
let's see. I think they can beat the Patriots. Who's week two? Oh, Chargers. That'll be interesting. And
Patriots
then
first week.
Commanders. Yeah, huh?
Patriots week one,
Patriots week one, then it's Chargers, then Commanders. So
and then West sporting the soccer jersey. We'll get you into a Raiders jersey too, because
well, it kind of looks like it's Portland State Vikings, right?
yeah, it could be a PSU.
Or it could be a Miami Hurricanes
Yeah.
shirt. And yeah. So the Hurricanes play Notre Dame, so maybe that's got
Well,
to
that's
support the
a
Catholics
U.
versus convicts.
Catholics versus convicts.
the Catholics versus convicts.
Renewing the rivalry.
That's a good segue. Let's jump right in here to the sports segment to talk about the beginning of college football here. Of course, there's a couple games, but I just looking at there's like, was it 80 games or something like that over the next, or 40 games over the next couple days for college? And so they got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and even a game on Sunday
And Monday. No, maybe they did. Yeah, I think Monday too.
and Monday as well. So let's see if I can find that real quick here. What was that stat?
No, it's just Sunday. Sunday is Notre Dame
Yeah,
Miami.
91 games over 5 days, 40 hours of televised college football from Thursday to Monday. That's good stuff.
Starts out with Boise State tomorrow.
Yeah, see how good they're going to be without Genty.
Yeah, I mean they're ranked, right? But South Florida is always decent. It's never an easy team to play, and they have
It's
to
in
go.
Florida.
Yeah, go to South Florida for that one. Yeah, Iowa State, Kansas State was last week. Was really the only big game there, and Iowa State. I guess you call that an upset because Kansas State was at home and ranked higher.
Well, they were in Ireland.
Oh, were
Yeah,
they?
I picked Iowa State.
Yeah, I didn't even get a chance to watch any games that day. That
It
was
was
the
pretty bad.
busy
It's
day.
what you expect from a week zero game.
So that I mean, there was only 5 games, but now here comes the big bulk of the game starting Thursday. I mean, geez, they've got a lot of games here on Thursday, right?
Well, Thursday you got Boise. It's at 2:30 Pacific time.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's during the day.
So they're getting going early. Boise State ranked, South Florida not. What's the pick there? You go with Boise State still, even though they're on the road.
Yeah, I mean, I got to take Boise State. And South Florida isn't as good as it used to be. So last year, I mean, they weren't very good. They should win, but it is tricky to go down there and play. Going to Florida.
It's a whole different
Yeah,
climate down there.
yeah, but they should win.
Okay, Boise State there. There's no other real big games tomorrow.
Yeah, I think Illinois plays on Friday. They play Western Illinois. They play at home. They should win that game.
Yeah,
They
Illinois
should-
ranked 12th there playing Western Illinois. Yeah, they're a 45-point favorite.
Yeah, come on. I mean,
Are they going to cover those? The
the
question.
question is, are they going to cover? I think they might. Good chance. But
I don't know how good Western Illinois is. It's not one of the teams I've keep up on.
no.
Well, Nebraska plays tomorrow too, though. So they play Cincinnati
Yeah.
at Cincinnati, and Nebraska's still a favorite. I like it. On ESPN too. Awesome. I'm gonna actually get to watch that game.
What time?
Night game.
Night game, 6 o'clock. Let's see. Friday got that, of course, that Illinois game. Auburn, Baylor, not ranked, but still a fun game, right? Two pretty good schools there. A little controversy around Georgia Tech, Colorado.
There's controversy around Colorado. I'm surprised.
There was just some media back and forth between some of the players talking about Colorado in general.
They're starting Caden Salter, right? So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Colorado at home, though. I mean, they're not a favorite, though. Actually, Georgia Tech's the favorite there. It's kind of a big game for Colorado to get started.
Yeah. Well, it's big for Dion because you don't have Shador anymore and you don't
Yep.
have Travis Hunter. So this is all on
Yeah.
what you have recruited at Colorado. It's
Right.
not who you brought over from Jacksonville State.
And Georgia Tech's good. Like Georgia Tech last year, they're gonna are they playing in Colorado? I can't find it.
Yeah.
It's in Colorado, yeah.
Is it on TV?
ESPN.
Oh jeez. Okay, there we go.
Should be fun to watch. It's a night game. Well, not night, 5 o'clock, but well, a couple good games there on Friday, but Saturday is the meat here. I mean, starting off in the morning on Fox with Texas, Ohio State. This is the big one. Everybody's talking about it. Before we get into like our thoughts on it, I just want to kind of hear your guys' opinions and thoughts on. I'm not saying everybody's saying this, but it's been a big push to where Ohio State, Vegas favorite. They're at home, but a lot of people saying it's way overweight that Texas should be blowing this game out. And I've heard this quite a bit lately. What do you guys think on a Texas blowout and people saying Vegas don't know what they're talking about?
It's still Ohio State. They still have Jeremiah Smith.
And a lot of good defense guys on defense too. They return, some studs. What's their safety?
Downs.
Yeah, Downs.
Well, the thing is I think it's kind of odd. It's at Ohio. Like, if this was like a neutral field game, you know what I mean? Like, but no, this is at Ohio State. First week of the season at Ohio State, Labor Day weekend. That's kind of crazy to me. You would think a Texas Ohio State game would be at what, Dallas in their stadium, or at the Sugar Bowl, or you know what I mean, one of the marquee games. But no, it's actually in Ohio State.
Yeah, this is a straight up home game.
Well, this is where we see how Wes's guy does.
Julian Sand?
No, you're Arch.
No.
Arch Manning.
Well, I'm not so much worried about Arch. I'm always worried about his coach. I'm not too worried about Arch. Arch will be most likely in New York when it's all said and done. Um, but yeah, the stat that's interesting is it's Julian Saint's first game going up against the number one team. 0-18 quarterbacks are in a debut against the number one team.
Ugh.
They've never beat a number one team. And I'm gonna pick Ohio State to win the game.
Oh, that's the well. I mean, you got Jeremiah Smith and
Yeah.
Carnell Tate, right? Tate was really solid last year. Now he gets to step into a number two role.
They mass produce wide receivers at Ohio State. It's like they come from a different they come out of a factory.
Yeah,
And also defensive backs. So I mean the idea that Texas, you know what, they're number one. They should win the game. Doesn't matter where you're playing. You know, I just think that I think Sayin is I think he's a gamer. I don't think of course he doesn't have Arch's talent. But when you have those receivers, all you need to do is get them the ball in space. And that's what Jeremiah specializes in, getting open. And then
yeah.
you,
I'd
you
throw to him
start,
when he's not open.
yeah, and then you're gonna roll up on him. You're gonna try to take away the deep ball. He's gonna go underneath. He's gonna pick apart Texas defense, I think. But I think it'd be a close game.
Yeah, I don't. It's the Texas blowout thing that is kind of getting me when people. I mean, maybe Texas does blow them out. Maybe I'm wrong in my
But
thinking, but Iowa State has got a tough team. They got a lot of solid players back on defense, a lot of solid players on offense. They're at home. Texas, they didn't return a ton, but they returned a solid defense. Obviously Arch, which I think Derek, you're talking about, he hasn't really proved anything yet. He hasn't, right? So he's not even top 10 rated player in the college right now.
I think if Texas was going to dominate the game, it's with their strength. That's usually it. They always recruit a great front seven. Their guys up front are big defensive linemen. They're always massive. If they could kind of shut down Ohio State's running game ability to run and put too much pressure on Sand, then Texas could, and Sand throws a couple interceptions, then it could be a 20-point win. I just don't see it. I won't be surprised. It's hard for week one. There's been a lot of blowouts in week one and big matchups over the past 40 years. It happens.
Right.
I don't think it's Ohio State's going to do that to Texas, but you never know. Texas can come out and they can get some turnovers and they could run away with it. I just think that if it's, I don't think Sayan's going to make the mistakes and turnovers. I think he's pretty. I think he's pretty cool under pressure. That's when listening to him and watching him play in spring ball. He's got a quick release. He's not the biggest guy in the world. He's not the fastest guy in the world, but he could sit in the pocket and dial it up. And with those receivers, I mean,
Yeah, that's tough. And
yeah,
well, you got to give them time though, too, right?
yeah,
So I
give him
think
time.
Texas's, defense has to step up.
And their front four, see, that's the thing. Texas, to me, every year recruits better than everybody else in the country because it's in their backyard, it's regional, and so they're gonna replace those defensive guys they lost with guys that are just a little bit, they're not as experienced, but they have the talent.
Yeah, they're never gonna lack talent. So, what are your thoughts there, Derek?
I don't think Texas can blow out Ohio State because it's in Ohio State. I just don't think that's going to happen. But the thing we do have to think about is Ohio State has new offensive and defensive coordinators. So they don't have Chip Kelly anymore to help out Ryan Day.
It's all in Ryan
I
Day.
believe in saying, so I still think Ohio State will win, but it will be close.
So you're taking Ohio State.
Yeah.
And
Wes
the
is taking
only
Ohio State.
and the thing is like the people are like, oh, he used to play at Alabama. Well, he didn't want to. Saban retired, and he's like, okay, I don't want to play here.
Right.
Why not? Okay, let's just go to Ohio State. Like, I probably have better weapons at Ohio State.
It's true. Ohio State is bringing in a lot of great players recently, and going forward, I don't think that's going to change for them much. They're obviously coming off a national championship, right? So that helps a lot over the next few years. Looking at Texas, I think they could take some pressure off Arch Manning. That sounds funny to say, but I think he needs less pressure on him, time to throw, get into a rhythm, just for his own confidence. So they have to run the ball. Texas does. They have Wisner still. So he's a good running back, and they're big up front. So Texas really, I think, has to play. That's why I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think Texas needs to control the ball and play a little slower, because the last thing you want to do is get in a shootout with Ohio State. That's I think that's what Ohio State's hoping for, is that it's a higher scoring game. So if I'm Texas, I got to run the ball, and I think Texas will win. I got to be honest. Ohio State's gonna do the lose the first game and then win out. That's what they're going for.
Ohio State's got motivation too. You're Ohio State. You win a national championship, and the next year you're ranked third, and you're
Right.
playing the number one team.
What a slap in the face.
Yeah.
They
And all
play a
those
tough
guys that
schedule. They got Illinois, Michigan, and Penn State. So that's not easy.
yeah.
So this is a pretty important game for them. Because what if they lose that Penn State game? Then you're in trouble if you lose
Well,
this one.
as long as they don't lose 3 games, they can get away with losing 2, but
Yeah, I guess we found that out last year, right?
yeah, you can get away with losing 2. It's just that third game is a killer.
What happened to going undefeated?
Well, yeah,
Good old days.
let's talk about like Notre Dame, Miami. It's like, okay, you lose the first week of the season. Sometimes that was, if you're going to lose back then, like if you're going to lose, you lose early. And so that was the thing. Like, remember when Miami, was it when they won in '84 when they had Bernie Kosar? They lost to like Florida like 31-3 in the first game and won the rest of their games.
Wow.
Can you imagine losing? Oh yeah, here comes Miami again, always losing to Florida teams. Nothing's different, and then they go out and they run the table and beat Nebraska in the national title, and that's what started the U.
Right. Yeah, Wes, you're the only one that remembers that. Okay, so you guys taking Ohio State, I'm taking Texas. But regardless, this is the game to watch, right? I mean, this is the biggest game you've seen at the beginning of the season for a while. It's going to kick off the season, basically. I mean, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, but like Wes said, in the grand scheme of things, does it
Right.
matter that much?
No, but it gets people excited.
Yeah.
I think it's a great way to start. But you're right. I mean, Wes, kind of hit on the head where you don't have to win, or you can lose 2 games these days.
It's maybe a psychological advantage if they play it in the playoff at some point, but still, early in the season is so much different than late now in college. You could have a whole new team at the end of the year. Let's look at Ohio State. They lose to Oregon. They lose to Michigan at home. Like you have to win that game. You lose. You barely get in the playoff. And then look, a brand new season, the playoff now. You play 3 or 4 games, and it's a brand new season. It's not. It's different now.
It
regular
is like
season.
a whole new season.
Yeah.
It's the playoff season. All right, well let's jump down here because there's a couple other games I want to talk about before, and we got to get to NFL. But the next one is this. I mean, there's quite a few good games, but this LSU Clemson is particularly interesting. 4:30 ABC at Clemson, number 4 Clemson, number 9 LSU. I was digging into this game a little bit. This looks like a fun game to watch too.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of hype around Clemson because finally Dabo is like, okay, I'm going to use the transfer portal, excuse me. He's got Klubrick is Heisman front runner. They have a fairly easy schedule beyond this, and they got weapons now for Klubrick. And so there's a lot of talk about them going deep, finishing top 3, which is surprising because the last year to me it was an anomaly when they got in the playoff, and the SMU game to me that was a freak thing. I think SMU just took it lightly, and so they didn't do too well in their next game. So it's not. I didn't think too much of it, but now that he's tapping into the portal the way he is, he knows it's serious now. He knows you cannot exist without tapping in. You have the resources. You're a name like Clemson. You better use it, or you're going to find yourself out of a job. And so I think defensively, skill positions are they're national championship bound with this team. I don't know how much I believe in Klubrick though. But
He,
we'll
he
see.
looked pretty good last year. I mean, I've never been a huge like I kind of just take him for what he is, and he's not bad, he's not great. If he has good weapons, he's gonna do well.
Yeah.
And they got some good returning players. Their defense is solid. I think they are with looking at their schedule, they could make a run. This is an important game for them. And then LSU, of course, they got the quarterback at least, and they're always going to have good position players.
Yeah, I mean, remember there's a factory of Jamar Chases and Abers. Like they're going to come out with a receiver that's 6'2", runs a sub 4.4, and has got great hands, and has a vertical, and so they're going to have weapons. I think.
Well, what are you taking? Who do you got? Clemson's a 3.5-point favorite.
I'm taking LSU.
LSU.
I think again, you can lose. If you're going to lose, this is when you lose.
Yeah.
I think LSU. There's a chip. There's a lot of talk that Brian Kelly's on the hot seat. Number one, I don't think any alum really cares about that or not. I mean, I don't think he's everyone's biggest fan, but it's about the team, and their quarterback. There's a lot of talk about these other, Arch and Kubrick, and I think he's like, no, I'm a top 5 quarterback.
Oh, he had a good year last year, Nussmeier.
Yeah. I mean, Nassmeyer to me is a statue. I'm not a big fan, but when you have those weapons, you could be a statue all you want. I mean, you could be Carson Wentz. You could be, Chris Winky. You could be Chris Winky. It's like, it doesn't matter when you're throwing to, those type of weapons. I think they edge him out.
All right. Well, we're opposite here, both games, because I'm Clemson at home. Where they're at, I think Dabo will just have them a little more ready to play. It's early in the season. LSU, I think, will be better as the season goes on, where I think Clemson will be more ready to play this game. So I'm going with Clemson at home.
Yeah, I'm taking LSU.
Jeez.
I mean, Garrett Nussmeier is up for the Heisman.
Yeah.
He's got it's his game one on TV, national TV against Clemson. He's going to come to play. And like I said, like Klubenik, I don't think he's all that.
No, he's not. And they were, arch and all this stuff. I mean, yeah.
Does
I think,
LSU still have the weapons?
yeah, I mean, like their running back Caden Durham is super fast. They got senior Chris Hilton Jr., Aaron Anderson. They've got a lot of weapons.
Yeah, yeah, they're big.
And the thing that it's not even it's also the LSU's defense. You know that they're bringing an SEC defense. They're tough. They got speed on the out. On the back end, they got speed. I think Kluivert could turn the ball over. He throws the wrong spot against these guys. You know, I think that's a factor too.
Yeah, like you said, I think like Harold Perkins is going to be a factor rushing the passer.
Yeah, definitely returned some good players on defense. So that's a big key, right? Looking at, and nobody wants to admit this, but bringing an LSU or I'm sorry, an SEC defense, or at this point, a Big Ten defense against most of the other conferences, it's gonna be weighed towards that conference as far as athletics and skill players, right? More athletes, bigger, stronger, faster.
Hey, you better have them in the SEC. Look at the competition for LSU. This isn't the ACC. You better
Yeah.
have guys that are going to keep up with those receivers in from Georgia, Texas. I mean, it's just
Well, the list is too long in both of those conferences you know, to not be recruiting at a high level. You can't compete. So we're opposite on both games to start. I like it. Uh, let's talk. Also, there's one more game we talked about a little earlier, but Miami and Notre Dame. I believe this is a night game as well, right?
it's this last Sunday game. I don't know. It's like maybe I think it is a night game.
Lost it there for a second. Yes, it is. So it's Sunday, 4:30, ABC, and we got at the U with good old Carson Beck
Carson Beck, buddy
coming.
Carson.
I mean, here's the thing, right? Miami lost a key part of their offense, obviously, with Cam Ward. Carson Beck, he's solid, and they still have really good talent on the offensive side of the ball, even with what they lost. And you bring in a senior proven quarterback who's played some big games, that's good for Miami.
Yeah, Carson Beck. I mean, even though he annoys me and he turns the ball over, he's thrown for 7,000 yards in the SEC. He's experienced. He's been there. Northern defense is always going to be good, but it's nothing that he hasn't seen every week in the SEC. The question is, what's the chemistry like with him and his weapons? You know,
Especially
um,
early in the season.
this early, again, he has a tendency to throw the ball in the wrong spot, which means that's the other team. And it killed him in the SEC. It's like um, he's just got to be better at managing the game and not making mistakes. And playing at home, Notre Dame's got a new starter, and it's CJ Carr.
Yeah, but they're just going to hand the ball off to Love.
And well, again, if you're Miami, what do? You stop those running backs at all costs, and you force them to throw.
You have to. Their
Yeah.
defense isn't that good, though. I mean, it's not horrible, but Miami is just, they're not super great on defense. So you've got this big line. You've got a great running back. You've got really good tight ends in Notre Dame. This is a tough ask for Miami's defense.
Yeah.
Notre Dame also has a solid defense, which is a problem.
Yeah. We're well coached. It's just I think they're kind of after last year. I mean, they did make it to the national championship. They lost, but they've been there. I think experience wise, and that factor, and they know what they can and what they can't do. They're not going to go out there and put up 50 points on teams just throwing the football. They're going to run the football, play action. They're going to get to their. They always have a tight end that's going pro in the first couple rounds. They have great tight end play. Their receivers are better than they've been in the past.
We got Jerome Bettis Jr., dude. You see that?
Oh, no. No, you know what I saw the other day was I got prompted the Sugar Bowl 1992. Jerome Bettis played Florida. Insane. I don't remember that where he just ran. He just ran through Florida.
Oh, he was a beast at Notre Dame.
It was just stupid. It was like men versus boys.
It's another one of those things, though, where it's like now we're watching his son come in, start playing college football, but it's cool that he goes to Notre Dame, right?
Yeah. Now they need the Rocket son. Does he have a?
Oh, what do you got here, Derek?
Well, Notre Dame has not beaten Miami since 1977.
Wow.
Jeez.
And they're starting a freshman quarterback. So I got to give the edge to Miami here just because of that. I mean, it's in a freshman quarterback going into Miami where it's going to be hostile. And, these two teams may not know their history, but they don't like each other.
Right.
At least the fans don't, right?
The fans are probably getting more fights than the freaking players.
Yeah, they haven't played since 2017.
Yeah.
Well, what do you take? I mean, so you're taking Miami here?
Yeah, I'm taking Miami.
Because Notre Dame's coming in, I think it's the favorite, right? Yeah, 2.5.
Yeah.
But I mean, yes. Everywhere else besides quarterback, I would say Notre Dame, but I think quarterback's the key here. On the road, hostile environment, freshman quarterback starting.
Yeah. Well, I see the game two ways, right? You have a team that has to put up points in Notre Dame, which they're not great at, and then you have a defense that has to stop them from putting points, which they're not great at. So if it comes down to where Miami gets 3 touchdowns on the board, then yeah, I take Miami as well. Because I see it like a 21-17, right? If just because Notre Dame just can't score, they had that problem last year sometimes, and they had better players. So we're in agreement on this one. I'm taking Miami at home. All 3 home teams. Wes, what are you taking?
I'm taking Miami too.
All right, we all agree on one finally. We all got Miami there, and that's great if you're betting on them because they're underdog. So great start to college football. There's a lot of big games, some games we missed, but can't talk about them all. We'll circle back, of course, next week and talk a little college football every segment. But let's get to why we're here, and we're here for NFL preparation for week 1. It's not even week 1 picks yet, right? This is pre-week 1 picks where we're talking playoff, who's going to go to the playoffs, division winners, and even throwing out a Super Bowl pick for y'all. So keep listening here as we drop in. NFL, exciting. Love it. My favorite time of year. Love when they come back, start playing again. Glad that, preseason's over. It's time to play some games. I mean, just kind of starting out. Let's jump from let's do it by division here. And then we'll just start with division winners. We'll talk each division real quick. So let's start with the AFC East. I'll jump right in here with because I don't think this is much of a division as far as who's going to win it. Buffalo, even with their struggles in the preseason, I don't think any of these teams are at Buffalo's level. I mean, when you're talking about the Patriots are looking, to make noise in the division, like the division's rough because even though Patriots have done a lot of good moves lately, but they're just not there yet. So, division winner for me here is no question. I took the Bills.
Yeah, I agree. I got the Bills. The Patriots to me are the second best team, which is sad. So yeah, I'm taking the Bills here.
We both got Bills. Wes.
Yeah, unanimous. Going through the schedule at first, seems like the Patriots could pile up some wins early, late. I still think, they only get to 8 wins, something like that. And the Dolphins are the ones that are like, I don't. It doesn't
You just
look
don't
too
know
great.
what they're going to do.
You just don't. They could win 7, or they win 6, 7, or they could win 10. It's just what team's going to show up, what two is going to show up.
Yeah, I feel like this is the year the Dolphins implode.
They implode and everything falls apart. That's what it seems like. Their schedule's not easy.
Great. Dolphins are winning the Super Bowl. If you guys are out there listening, just go put $100 on the Dolphins win the Super Bowl right
I want to
now.
know, when was the last time the Dolphins beat a winning team?
I mean, they're
You mean a winning?
great
A team with a winning record.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because they've struggled with it. Even if they've won one here and there, we already know that they've had a hard time with teams that are over 500.
They haven't won a playoff game since 2000. That was Dan Marino.
Dan Marino's last time Dolphins won a playoff game. Wow.
And then they went the next week, and Jacksonville beat them like 63-7.
Oh, I remember that game.
For that? Yeah.
Isn't that with Jimmy Smith for the Jags?
Something like that. I don't know.
Dude, I think Jimmy
Probably.
Smith went off that game. I know he was in that. That's old Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Brunell, was it Brunell?
Yeah. They had like 7 touchdowns in the first, or 6 touchdowns in the first half. It was brutal. Yeah, that was a rough one for them. All right, so let's move past that division. Let's move down to AFC North. This is a little tougher than the East, but I think to me it feels similar to the East. But what do you guys think? So, Derek, what do you got?
You said the North?
Yeah.
No, the Ravens. Come on, Steve. You know I'm picking the Ravens.
I know you will die with the Ravens.
Wes will pick the Bengals.
And I'll pick the Browns.
Yes, Steel. No, you'll take the Steelers.
Not Aaron Rodgers. Nope.
Well, I did the math. I did some heavy crunching of numbers and stats, and got to go Joey B, man.
Yeah, I like it.
Got his weapons. I mean, come on. He's got everybody signed.
Right. Their defense can't play that bad all the time, right?
They signed it. Well, they got a couple rookies. It's a patchwork. Reminds me of the 1984 Dolphins, where it's like, okay, Marino's going to throw for 48 touchdowns, which was unheard of,
right,
ever. And we don't really have much of a running game or a defense, even though I think the rookie, I think Brown, you got Brown, but that rookie, Volk or something, yeah, I think he's going to be their second running back. I mean, I think they'll run the ball. They can run the ball efficiently. It's all about Burrow and Chase. And T.
Well,
Higgins.
I mean, with Higgins and Chase, if neither of them gets hurt,
Yeah.
uh, and Chase Brown is really solid, so you've got a good core on offense where they're going to score points. I don't see how you stop them.
And the rookie Tinsley, I would kind of roam him in the middle. You're going to roll up on the outside, throw it to that Tinsley guy. He's pretty good. I think he's going to play a role later in the season, not early, but
I mean, they're
I think it came out to Bengals 12-5 and Ravens 11-6.
nice.
How many of these? How are the Bengals? They're going to have to score 50 points each game.
They might have to.
And what happened last year?
What do you think?
Last year they had to do it too, and what happened? They didn't even make the playoffs.
The 84 Dolphins only lost 2 games.
What did the Bengals last year with the same basically team do?
Dude.
Well, I feel like Higgins was out for a while though, right?
The problem is they keep losing their first 4 games. They're not going to do that this year.
They got to get off to a better start. They've really had some horrible starts recently.
Can you name one defensive starter for the Bengals beside Hendrickson?
Well, I hope. What's his name?
I'm having technical difficulties with my laptop.
No, the guy they drafted, Murphy, right? Like he should be coming around at some point.
Yeah. Okay, Steve got one. Miles Murphy.
That's about as deep as I'll go. No, their cornerback, DJ.
It's like the no-name defense from the Dolphins. How many? Nobody
What's
could name
DJ's
them.
last name? DJ
Turner.
DJ Turner. That's what it is. Yeah, I do know. So I know too. Come on. If I really, but that's the thing. It's like they just have to be formidable. They just have to hold up for a while. And I get where Wes is going. It's hard for me too because I like the
They
Bengals.
just
I
got to
like their
keep
offense.
teams under 38.
Just keep scoring 38 points a game. But I'm still taking Baltimore. You got to go with, what is the most solid on both sides of the ball. They have a lot of talent on both sides of the ball as well. So Baltimore, they're going to win the division. They're going to lose the playoffs, and it's going to be fun to watch. And that's what's going to happen. So if you're betting, bet on them to win the division, not the Super Bowl. But yeah, that one's a little easier for me as well. AFC South. Wes, what do you got in South?
The Texans. I got them at winning 10, going 10-7. I think they're going to struggle. I mean, I don't think they're going to struggle much with their division. I would say that the other 3 teams, they're going to be fighting for a wild card spot, but I don't think any of them will get it. I got the Titans winning 8 games.
It's
Jacksonville, kind of the same.
You're right. I think they're all going to be right. I think it's going to be the closest division of football, right? That you're going to get all those teams right with the same records, and it's going to come down to a coin flip. I could see Tennessee being in there.
Yeah.
Just because none of these teams have really shown me a lot of growth. They have young players, but they're not really taking advantage of that. This is such a upside down division as far as who can actually win it. And I'm going to take the Colts. And it's the return of Daniel Jones. He's coming back.
Comeback player of the year.
Comeback player of the year. Write it down. Daniel
Oh.
Jones.
Jeez.
Yeah. What's happening? So
one of the best running quarterbacks in the
right.
NFL, Daniel Jones.
He's a great runner. We know he is. But you know what? They have other players though too, right? They have a lot of good players if you think about it.
Yeah, on both sides of the ball.
Right. Especially though on offense, that's a lot of weapons when you talk about the addition of Tyler Warren. And now you got Pittman, Downs, Mitchell. Those are solid. And if Jonathan Taylor stays healthy.
Right.
I mean, but throw in DJ Giddens. give it a shot. But I mean, I like their chances. I think they're solid on offensive line. Like their offense just looks good. Just can Daniel Jones not or make the change, right? So let's just see. He will either win the games or lose the games for them. It's going to all run through Daniel Jones.
This is the most talented offense he's been a part of.
Yeah, he's got a lot of weapons, and their defense is solid. Like he doesn't have to score 40 a game like if you're Cincinnati, but um, and then they're playing a division that I don't think there's some teams that got good players, but they're just not very consistent. So just taking the Colts here, win the division. What you got, Derek?
I'm taking the Texans. Just I think this will be CJ Stroud had his down year. Now he's going to come back. He's got tons of weapons. I mean, Nico Collins, Christian Kirk, Jaden Higgins, Jalen Noel, Dalton Schultz. Um, you're starting. The only thing I have issue with is you don't know what's going on with Joe Mixon,
But they
and
got
it's Nick
Chubb, right?
Chubb,
Right.
huh?
They still have Chubb.
Yeah, but is Chubb anymore?
Right.
And they still got Damian Pierce too. So, and that defense. I mean, Will Anderson, Daniel Hunter, their
Right.
linebackers are good. You got Derek yeah, Stingley Jr. out there. CJ Gardner Johnson now. I think that they're the most well-rounded team in that division, so that's why I'm taking the Texans.
Yeah. I mean, they do have a good amount of talent. I think Joe Mixon might not, he's not even listed as their starter right now.
Well, he's on the IR.
Right. So he's going to be out. Who knows? But CJ Stroud has to get out of his sophomore slump. And that doesn't always happen. You'd like to see it happen for him. But if he doesn't play better than he did last year, which with I think less talent actually at receiver um, until Tank Dell. I mean, even Christian Kirk though is not great in my mind. So
He's a
Third receiver.
third receiver at best anyway, so you don't really need Christian
It's
Kirk to. You drafted Higgins and Noel. Plus, you have Nico Collins, and then once Kirk comes back from, or uh, Tank Dell comes back from injury.
yeah, I mean, you look at then you're hoping your rookies play pretty well though, or your young guys.
Right. Well, you also have Dalton Schultz too.
Yeah, they do have Dalton Schultz solid tight end. I like Schultz at tight end. I just don't think they're a lot more talented, but they definitely have the experience. You look at they've gone to the playoffs, they won playoff games, so they should have some confidence, right? But we'll see. We'll see if they can beat the Colts. All right. Well, let's move forward to AFC West. Oh, well, you guys are gonna love me on this one. I'm going with the Denver Broncos with the AFC West.
boo.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to say the Raiders instead. I just don't think the Raiders are going to be there this year. The Chiefs, I guess it's just a hope that they're falling off. But I think it's more to me the Broncos are progressing, and it, Sean Payton's not a coach that you want to give confidence to, right? So I like what they've done with the team. I like the direction that they're headed with their young guys. I think the Chargers still have a little bit of work to do. They're going to be tough. But I think the Broncos right now, for me, look like the most, I guess, fit in every aspect of the game right now. Most complete team, I guess I got to call them. So taking the Broncos, win the division.
So, Steve, I got one question for you. Is Bo Nix marrying one of the most popular singers in the world?
God, Derek.
I know, but then we have to make it about the NFL script, and man, I don't want to do that.
Dude, the Chiefs have their little docu-series, The
Oh my God,
Kingdom.
don't even bring it up, dude.
I know. And so it's like, and Kelsey's already hinting that this is his last year. Come on. We all know the Chiefs are winning this division this year.
Oh God. Oh, what did you say, Derek? Tell the audience what you told. Now they're going undefeated. How could you even say that? How could you put that out in the universe?
Oh man.
Why?
That's because that's what everything's going to come out. You already got the collusion against, they were colluding against Shador.
Well, the question is that if it's really been trying to help the Chiefs and the script and everything, the refs just haven't made the best calls. So you already got controversy around the refs, right? And Kansas City, like that's kind of the thing. Everybody talks about that. You see it everywhere. Well, the question is can the refs push Kansas City through another playoffs with everybody just being like, yeah, that's fine. Go ahead, just call whatever you want, anytime you want.
Well, they did it. They almost did it in the Super Bowl. Remember?
Yeah. So, I mean,
it goes back to be the man, you got to beat the man. And so right now, sadly, I hate it, but the Chiefs are the team of the AFC West until someone beats them. I don't particularly, I think the Broncos are overrated.
well, that's because you're a Raiders fan.
No, it's just because this is what they do every year. How many times have they said, "Oh, the Broncos are going to go and defeat the Chiefs," and then they end up in last place?
Yeah.
Ever,
Yeah, they're like
whenever they
Drew
talk
Lock,
about
though,
how
is our
great a
man.
defenses don't last in the NFL. They're like a good 2, 3 years of great defenses, and then they fall off. So I don't know if I could trust Denver.
So you're taking KC, huh?
Yeah.
Going with the safe money.
I'm taking Patrick Mahomes over Bo Nix or
Yeah.
Herbert.
All right, Wes, what do you got?
What about Justin Herbert?
Oh, I like it. Let's
I'm
talk
taking
about
the
him.
Chargers.
Nice.
Taking the Chargers just because I have no rhyme or reason. But I certainly don't want to see the Chiefs go undefeated, right? And then, Travis and Taylor get married after the Super Bowl in a parade. And then Travis retires and says, you know what? I want to go be a famous movie actor like Brian Bosworth. And then he gets casted as the new 007 with Taylor Swift being a Bond girl. And then they get married in the movie. Like this is what we talk about with the script here, dude.
Yeah.
So I'm taking the Chargers to blow it all up.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the Raiders can do it.
And they got the guy, Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Who says that even if the Chiefs don't win the division, they're still not going to win the Super Bowl, though?
Yeah.
Because then it's a bigger story. The redemption of the Chiefs
Yeah.
not winning in the Super Bowl or not winning the division, becoming a wild card.
They already got the sequel to The Kingdom already played out. Like
Yeah.
The Kingdom.
No, it's even better that if they don't win the division, they come in as a wild card and they win from like 7th seed all the way.
Yeah.
Beat Buffalo, the Bengals.
I mean, come on. If we watch enough movies that we know, that makes a much better story, unless they're going to go completely undefeated. Because then you're talking about a whole different story, right? If they go up there 19-0,
dude, yeah, they win all their games by 2 points, right? They have the point differential, like
half the games. There's a penalty on the last play that helps them win the game.
Oh man, because you got to have the controversy in it too, right? All right. Well, I mean, I like the Chargers pick. Actually, I went back and forth with Broncos and Chargers. Jim Harbaugh's history tells you, though, that in the second year, like it's time to move the team forward.
Yeah.
Again, right? He already comes in, gets into the playoffs, and now he's going for the Super Bowl. That's just the kind of coach he is. And you look at his history, man, it's hard to argue. All right. Well, we all got three different ones there. That's awesome. All right. Well, let's jump over to the NFC. So we'll come back. We'll recap at the end of our division winners, and then we'll talk the rest of the playoffs. So NFC East. I think you're leading us off there, Derek.
I'm still taking the Eagles, but it's a slimmer margin now because, like, well, I got to find out how long is Landon Dickerson out for?
I mean, you think the Commanders, obviously, with their last year, have gotten closer.
Yeah, well, now that they got McLaurin, that was just dumb. It's like, dude, you have a you have a second year quarterback now. You've got the cap space. Just sign him.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like maybe Dickerson might be back, so he's not going to miss much time. So I'm taking the Eagles. And of course, stupid Raiders, they trade Jacorian Bennett to him, and of course he's been their best in preseason. So good job, Raiders.
Of course, you got to get rid of good players.
When the Raiders defensive backs you can't even probably name any of them.
No, it's bad. So, Wes, what do you got here? NFC East.
I got the Eagles too. I mean, I think they win 11 games, somewhere in that area. I think Washington wins 10, and Dallas sucks. But I think they'll bench Dak and they'll put in like halfway through the season. But I got Dallas winning 7 games. No,
Picking with the Eagles, though, the safe bet.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I see that, you got to look at the way the Commanders played last year, but you're also talking about the champs, right? I mean, we talked about this last year with the college, but still, it's, you can't just say you're not the best anymore. That's why I'm picking the Cowboys. No, I'm just kidding. I'd never pick the Cowboys. No, you got to take the Eagles here. I think the Eagles might be better than they were last year. They made some changes that um, if they can stay healthy, I think it gave them more speed at different places. Especially on defense, and their offense just it's Saquon, man. What are you gonna do? How do you stop him with the talent they have at receiver and Jaden Hurts? So you got to pick the Eagles here. There's no other pick for me than the Eagles. All
And they
right.
got Mechie. They got Mechie to go with Devontae Smith.
Right. And Smith's got to have a little chip on his shoulder from not getting in the top 100. I mean, if AJ Brown's not there and he's the number one, he's a killer.
Yeah.
You got Lad McConkey in front of him. He had a great rookie year, but geez, come on, show Smith a little bit of credit.
I don't trust that thing any either. They don't have Max Crosby in the top 20.
Yeah, but at least he's on there.
Yeah, but he should be at least in the top 20.
Yeah, I didn't dig through the list real close just to kind of see, who could get moved back, who could get moved forward. So we're all going with the Eagles. That's pretty obvious. Let's see. Let's move down to the North. My favorite division. Wes, what do you got?
The Bears.
Nice.
Sorry, dude. Not quite.
Come
Not
on,
so
dude.
fast.
I got the Packers.
The Packers.
Got the Packers. It's your
Jeez,
favorite
even
team, dude.
worse.
I think it's like a tie. There'll be a tiebreaker with the Lions. I think the Packers edge them out, though. It's both sides of the ball. I think it's. I think they're just going to beat up on each other. I don't believe yet in Minnesota. I don't see them making the playoffs, and the Bears, sadly, I don't see them doing that great. But there's always a good draft pick.
They've had a bunch of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's time to use them. Yeah, the Packers is tough because you just don't know how well their defense is going to play and your offense is going to be consistent. I'm not sold on Jordan Love personally. And look, when they have Aaron Rodgers and they have Brett Favre, no question in my mind, I would never call one of those guys a bad quarterback. But Jordan Love he just doesn't do it for me as far as being a great quarterback. He's not a bad quarterback, but he's definitely not a good quarterback. He's just kind of there.
Mr. Backfoot.
Yeah.
He
The
he
Lions,
said he's going to correct that.
the Lions are a tough one for me this year. I just don't. They're a good team. You lose a lot when you lose Ben Johnson, and we'll see how that affects them. So I am picking the Bears. Bears are winning the division. Taking the Bears, not Minnesota. They're gonna have some growing pains. It's gonna be a battle. Bears play a tougher schedule than I want them to play, but they had a good preseason. I think they're going to come out and they're going to score a lot of points.
The Bears.
The Bears.
True.
All right, Derek.
I'm taking the Lions. I know they lost both defensive or both coordinators, but are we even really is Johnson really that great? Let's see as Caleb Williams looked, if he's going to get worth his money, Caleb Williams needs to actually throw for 4,000 yards.
Right.
The Lions still have the most talent out of all these teams. And so I'm still taking the Lions to win this division.
Yeah, they do have a lot of talent, right? That's for sure. But now we really get to find out. And I know it's preseason, but I saw a lot of things you didn't see from the Lions, even their backups, over the last few years. And I think they are affected a little bit by coaching. Does that mean they won't win the division? That's a tough call. Another division, though, that we all have three different winners in, though. So that's awesome. All right, NFC South. Let's see. This is me. Tampa Bay. I mean, I like Atlanta. Atlanta's looking good for the future. Tampa Bay, I just think looks better right now. Carolina and the Saints don't have a lot of shot here. The Saints always have an outside shot, but I think it's less than the years past. It's either the Falcons or the Bucks, and that's going to be a battle till the end. For Bucks, I think they're going to be a little bit more. The time is now, and they're going to be a little more hungry because the door will be closing on them. Where the Falcons, they have a lot of time to grow, and they could grow into a really good team. So Bucks are more sense of urgency, so I'm taking the Bucks.
Yeah, I agree. I'm taking the Bucks too. Wes is going to start seeing Baker Mayfield commercials again here pretty
Stop.
soon.
I was just about to say something. You had to say it.
But I don't think I like Raheem Morris as the coordinator. I don't like him as a head coach. And I think that's going to be the fault of the Falcons. I think they're going to fall again. Remember, they were the sexy pick last year, and what happened? So yeah, I got the Bucks.
Got two for the Bucks, Wes.
Well, I did turn on my TV the other day, and I saw Baker Mayfield on TV, not in a uniform, not in a highlight reel from last year, not at Oklahoma in the Rose Bowl. No, he was doing a commercial. And normally I would pick against Tampa Bay because he's starting to do commercials again, but I can't because the division's so bad. Even though I think Atlanta could win 8 games and challenge Tampa because I think Tampa only wins 9 games. But they still win the division. I think Carolina is a little better, but there's so many deficiencies. And New Orleans, I think, wants to lose. So
they just named what's his name, the starter, Spencer Rattler.
yeah, I mean, they're taking for Arch, man. Take for Arch.
Maybe they are. I mean, come on. We're talking about the script, right?
Arch.
I don't know if Archie wants Arch to go to the Saints. Look what happened to him when he was there.
It's tradition.
Well, they all go through it, right? I mean, even though Peyton had a better team, but he threw a bunch of interceptions and he
New
came to
Orleans
the
was
league.
notoriously bad in the 70s. It was like they had no chance of winning.
Right.
But now they're always good enough they could in 2 or 3 years they could win the division, you know. But back then there wasn't free agency. It's like okay, you were going to be bad for 10 years, and that's what they were.
That's fun. Oh man, so we all got the Bucks there. That's good. It's another home run pick there, and then the West. How was the West one, Derek?
This one, it's weird. This was the toughest for me because it's all question marks. All 4 teams have question marks. But I'm going with the Seahawks
Oh,
Wow.
oh,
because I think the Seahawks defense is going to be one of the best in the NFL.
Yeah, a
And
lot of
Sam
young
Darnold's
guys.
not going to have to do as much. I think that yeah. I don't know if Stafford is going to stay healthy. Who knows who's going to be healthy on the Niners? Cards will be okay, but not great. So yeah, I got the Seahawks.
It's a tough division, Wes.
no, it was because I really, really wanted to pick the Cards, and I went through the schedule, and I'm just like, not quite there because I think the Rams, if Stafford is probably going to be healthy, but the Niners are right there. I just got to go with the Rams by default.
Well, if Stafford goes down, Stetson Bennett's coming in. Doesn't matter.
That's what I'm saying.
No, it's Jimmy
Jimmy
G.
Garoppolo, dude. Jimmy
And
G.
then they're going to lose all their games.
Jimmy G in LA. Dude,
No
he's
way,
like he'll
dude.
be like Joe Namath when he's starting in week 4.
After the way Bennett played in preseason, I'm putting Bennett in.
Dude, Jimmy G is going to come in, throw it over the middle, a horrible pass, and Devontae Adams is going to get decapitated again.
It's funny. It's like Devontae Adams just can't get away from him.
Yeah.
I've watched a lot of football since I was a kid. I remember watching Jimmy G throw the ball like straight up in the air towards the sideline, and I was at the golf course, and I'm like, "Are you effing kidding me? That's an interception. The ball hadn't even landed yet. Interception!" And everyone just started laughing because I was like, "Dude, I felt like Steve and Cutler, dude." I was like,
Yeah, you knew it was coming.
Dude, it's over."
Yeah, this division for me, man. There's who knows what's going to happen here. Um, I had to go with the Seahawks as well, and it was just because of defense. I think they'll have the most consistent defense. I don't think any of these teams will be particularly consistent on offense. The 49ers, they just have to stay healthy, and that's always just a question mark. So you can't count on them. But can you count on any of these teams really? I like the defense up there in Seattle, so I'm going to go with the Seahawks as well.
And I mean, if you could tell me right now and guarantee me the 49ers would stay healthy or the Rams would stay healthy, I could pick both those teams to go to the Super Bowl. But history on the 49ers, they're not going to stay healthy. And I just don't know what's happening with Stafford, dude. I just don't know.
Yeah. Well, they have to stay healthy all across the board too. They can't, and they have to be consistent. Like Kyron Williams, like has to be very consistent for them to be good.
But they do have a good defense. I mean, their draft picks, Fiske, and then who is the defensive end they got, right?
Well, they also had some young guys last year on defense, or the last couple of years that have played really well.
Oh yeah, because Fiske was a rookie last year, and then they had where is he? Oh, Jared Verse.
Verse, yep. Yeah, he looked really good. And those guys will just get better, of course. Not not horrible in the secondary, but really not that great. So secondary would have to step up for them to go deep. Solid team though. I mean, Rams are good, but yeah, can they stay healthy? Same with 49ers. It's like they got weapons. I mean, what are you gonna do? If you have a healthy Ayuk and Kittle and Christian McCaffrey.
I don't even know, like right now, who is their starting receivers due to injury. Because Ayuk's out. I think Jennings is out.
Well, it's what's his name?
It's Pearsall
Solomon, yeah.
Yeah, no,
and
I was gonna go play down there.
and Marquez Vandos Scantling,
Yeah.
right? Are your starters.
Gantly's your starter, jeez.
Yeah. Well, still, look, they're not. They're in the NFL, right? They're not trash. Pearsall is good. Good. Here's the thing: McCaffrey and Kittle take up a lot of eyes on defense. So if you get those guys in space, it doesn't matter. And both of them are real fast too. And Scanning likes to go deep.
Yeah.
So they're not horrible off either. But they're just so many injuries for them. But Seahawks, Rams, there's the picks there. So let's just run down division winners real quick. So my division winners are, I'll just go by the same order we did. I got Bills, Baltimore, the Colts, the Broncos. Got Philadelphia, got the Bears, got the Bucks, got and Seattle.
And I got the Bills, Ravens, Texans, Chiefs, Eagles, Lions, Bucks, Seahawks.
Jesus, you guys wrote this stuff down? All right, here we go.
You're the one that said you were going to go through every
It's
game.
on the other computer, and I couldn't transfer it over. So now it's like I got to go in my room. No. All right, it's the Bills, the Texans, the Chargers, and the Bengals, Eagles, Packers, Bucks, and the Rams.
We got a lot of the same, but now we got it on paper, camera paper.
Yeah.
See how we do. We'll reference it at the end of the year like we always do when we talk about our
Browns.
records
The
and
walk of shame.
do our walk of shame. Or sometimes some years we do good, so you never know. Right? It could
The
be
Bears might win the Super Bowl. You never know.
Yeah, that. I mean, I'm not saying I would go for that. I'm just saying let's not get crazy now. All right, so considering those division winners, that means we still got to have three other teams in the playoffs, right? So let's just start with the AFC since we started there any last time. You want to give your three teams, and then let's do this. Give your three teams and tell why you think each team's going to make it. So who wants to go first?
I'll go. I got the Bengals because Wes says they're good, so I'm just gonna put the Bengals in there. No, because the Bengals do have probably the best offense in the NFL. And that will help them get to the playoffs. I don't know how far it will get them, but and then I'm taking the Broncos just because
Because they're
I
going to win the
don't
division. Of course they're going.
know. I think it's Sean Payton, and this one was the NFC had like I had like almost every team in the wild card picture. AFC was a little easier for me, but so I got the Broncos, and then my wild card team. This is a wild card team because every year a team that doesn't make the playoffs makes the playoffs, right? I'm going the Jags.
Oh, I didn't see that one coming.
Duval.
All right.
Oh.
I think this is the year that Trevor Lawrence has to show that he's there. You know what I mean? And they got they still got ATN, they got Bigsby, Tootin, Brian Thomas, Travis Hunter.
Yeah, Travis Hunter, Brian Thomas. That could be dangerous. It could not. I mean, Brian Thomas is going to be good. It's just, I think Travis Hunter is more of the question to me.
Right. Well, they also got the Dynami Brown and Tim Patrick. They just traded for Tim Patrick. So they got some depth there at receiver. On defense, they're pretty solid on defense. I mean, they got, Hines Allen and Armstead and Trayvon Walker on the line. I think, yeah, that they have a pretty good team. It's just been, I don't actually, it's been coaching has been bad there.
I don't think it's a horrible pick, to be honest. I think they could sneakily get into the playoffs right there.
And then karma hits Harbaugh because he's a cheating fool. Cheaters don't prosper. And he won a national
Oh,
championship because he's a cheater.
love it. Just like Belichick, right? All right, Wes, what are your three wild cards there?
Well, number one, Baltimore, just for the obvious. They're probably the most talented roster in the AFC on both sides of the ball. And so they're there. Um, I got to go with what? I'm gonna have to consult with my analytics team here. It's not looking right. The Kansas City Chiefs, of course, because I want them to make it into the playoffs so they can get, beat. Um, they're gonna. I can't see them not making the playoffs for the factors. They do have a good team. They do have Patrick Mahomes, and they do have the refs, so they should.
And they have Taylor Swift.
And that's the other stuff. I
They
mean,
just
so they
yeah,
got 6 billion fans.
yes. I heard the stat 57% of Chiefs fans are women now.
Well, yeah, because
Or
they just
girls or
gained
whatever. Yeah.
they just gained like 100 million fans.
And again, I think I'll have to readjust because of Steve. I think I'm gonna go with the Colts.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
Danny
I mean, they're winning the
Dimes.
division, so they're getting in.
Jeez. Yeah, something like that. So Colts.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I think we kind of all agree on the same playoff teams. I have Kansas City making the playoffs. But here's where I kind of differ is I also have the Chargers making the playoffs. So I got three going out of the West. And then Cincinnati with their offense got to get in too, right? So my kind of differences there is I got three out of the West. Uh, It's rare that that happens, but I just see there's a lot of deficits on the other teams. So going three out of the West. So KC, Chargers, Cincinnati. All right, NFC. Wild cards. Wes, what do you got?
Washington, Detroit, and I am going to go with the Seahawks too.
Yeah, I got Washington, Detroit, and Arizona, but because I got the Seahawks winning the division. But I left the Rams and the 49ers out, which was hard to do. I think Arizona is a little more stable than those teams. Obviously, they have to stay healthy too because injuries can kill anybody. But Arizona just they got some momentum going. They got some good young guys. Kyler, when he's playing well, is very hard to defend. And Arizona's putting it together a little bit. I think they looked pretty good last year, even though they didn't play great. They did good things. So that's why I threw them in there. Detroit, obviously, I agree, Derek, in the sense that they probably have the best top to bottom roster in the NFC. They just have to keep it together. And then can't take anything from the Commanders, right? They went deep last year, and I think they might have gotten a little better on their roster. It just can Jaden Daniels, keep it together.
Yeah, so I've got the Commanders, the Rams, and the Bears.
Nice. Got the Bears in twice.
So I got the Commanders, because you've already talked about it. The Rams, if they stay healthy, should be a playoff team. And the Bears, you have to.
Yeah.
Enough is enough, Bears.
Well, you can't not win with this much talent. Like something's wrong.
Yes. And so this thing is, you got Ben Johnson talking trash. You got Caleb Williams there. You've got all this talent. So what are you going to do with all this talent?
You are a big bear, literally.
You're a bear.
Get these
You don't know when to
claws,
use these claws, Bears.
big fangs. You just don't know how to kill the bunny.
You know who needs to hear that? You know who needs to watch that movie? I bet you he's never watched it.
Caleb
It's
Williams.
Quarterback. It's your quarterback. Dude, I've seen some of these memes, dude.
Yeah.
They're pretty harsh.
His you maybe it's his head, but you can't take away from his talent level. Like he has the tools. He can throw the ball. He throws the ball on the run. He can get out of the pocket. He can move,
Well, yeah.
throw a deep ball. Like he has all the tools.
Yeah. I mean, the way that you take away from his talent is rushing him and his offensive line not protecting him. That's his biggest problem right there. They got to protect him.
Here's where if you're the Bears and you hire Ben Johnson, he better turn this around because that's the only reason you hire him.
Right.
It's like, you got these guys that are offensive geniuses, but they don't know how to cater to a quarterback they have. Look, it's Shane Steichen. Oh, I'm going to just let Anthony Richardson go out there and not play to his strengths. And then they're going to blame him.
Yeah. I think Ben Johnson's offense does play to his strengths naturally. And I know one thing that if they're getting too much pressure on him and he's getting sacked a lot, at all costs, Ben Johnson will get the ball out of his hands through play calling.
Yeah.
Bubble screens.
Well, I think you might see a lot of the tight ends over the middle, because you got two pretty good tight ends now, and that's not a good thing to give Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Loveland better perform though, because if you took him over Tyler Warren, so that's
trust me. I've thought about that since they drafted him. So if you're gonna go tight end, why not go Tyler Warren?
Well, yeah, because it's then you see, like look at the Raiders with Brock Bowers and Mayer. They're two different tight ends.
Yeah.
Komet and Loveland are like the same tight end.
Yeah. No, you need that athleticism that Warren brings. And the ability to play anywhere on the field. Like Warren, you can put him in the backfield, slot, all kinds of stuff.
He
All
was
right,
Penn
well,
State's offense.
What's that?
He was Penn State's offense.
Yeah. No, he's good. Well, those are our picks. So, of course, next week we're going to be coming back with our weekly picks. So, if you haven't watched before, tune in next week. Next podcast, we go through all the games with our picks for the week. Keep a tally for the year for you, see how we do. And if you want to follow us with those, it's great. And, we usually have a pretty high percentage. Playoffs, this is the year for us.
Playoffs.
We're gonna turn up our playoff record this year. We got to get it up to our regular season record. All right, so we'll end the sports segment there. We're gonna come right back, check out the movie segment next, and so we'll see you in a
I
minute.
thought we were picking our Super Bowl picks.
Oh yes, we're not gone yet. We forgot to give the way too early Super Bowl pick.
Oh, jeez.
Man, I almost forgot. Good thing you guys didn't log off yet. The listeners. All right. Well, since you're ready, why don't you give us yours?
I have the Ravens winning the Super Bowl against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Wow. Tampa going to the Super Bowl. I love it.
Yes. But the Ravens finally prevail.
The Ravens finally prevail. I love it. Lamar gets the Super Bowl. It's a good story. Tampa's would be a great story to go to the Super Bowl, even if they lose.
Yeah.
Because then it's just like the return of Baker Mayfield, dude.
I know. And then the return of the commercials.
Why, Derek?
Well,
Return of the general.
I'll tell you, here's my pick. So my Super Bowl pick for this year also have the Ravens, but I have them playing the Eagles instead of the Bucks, and I have the Eagles going back to back.
Oh.
I think the Eagles have a lot of confidence. They're the champs. They just looked better than everybody. I think they're going to continue that, and I think Saquon is going to go off. I mean, hard to stop.
Saquon's hurt first week. He heard it here first.
No, he's breaking the Madden curse is what he's doing.
Oh, jeez.
It's all about this breaking the curse. Saquon's going to do it. So, no, I like the Eagles. I think they're solid both sides of the ball. I think they get to playoffs. I don't know that the NFC is a real hard, division or conference to run through, and they get there, and then the Ravens choke in the Super Bowl. All right, Wes, what you got?
Lots of storybook endings here.
Yeah.
But there's nothing better than a story when it involves two people that are in love. We all know how this story is going to end, right? Wrong. Because this story ends with an assassin. Wasn't in the story last year.
Joe Burrow.
And his name is Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow in the Super Bowl against the Detroit Lions. First time ever. And Joey B finishes the job.
I love it. And then they're going to be scoring like 40, 50 points a game all through
It's going to be
playoffs.
the 84 Dolphins. Well, people don't understand there's no 49er team at the end of the road. There's not that defense.
I like it. Cincinnati makes it. Of course, they have a chance. Detroit, we've talked about them back and forth through winning the division and being one of the best rosters.
I really want to take the Commanders, but I can't.
Yeah, Commanders would be a tough one. So, man, we just got a real recap one time before we end the segment. So, Wes has got the Bengals beating the Lions in the Super Bowl. Derek's got the Ravens beating the Bucks, and I've got the Eagles beating the Ravens.
Well, I thought about the Bucks for a minute. Because it's one of those years where it just something happens out of nowhere.
Bucky Irving, man.
Poor Josh Allen.
I know. We just left him out completely. Well, if it makes you feel better, I really came down to the Ravens beating the Bills in the AFC Championship.
But they
So, all right, there we go. There's our Super Bowl picks, also on paper on the video record. Let's see how we do. At least I didn't pick the Browns. All right, we'll come right back with the movie segment.